Yes, chef.
Coop's coming in. Anyway, I'll turn that one. Sorry.
Yeah, good.
There we go. I think we're better now.
What's up?
What's up, Coop?
How's it going?
Hi.
Bridge.
Hi, Bridge.
Hey, guys.
What's happening?
I am.
Right, as I said before, guys, I am running this solo tonight. So I've got my phone here, hi, and I've got the chopping board here. So talk about technology, hey? So we should see how we go. First things first, what I want you to do is grab 2 trays out of your oven. If you've got, or 2 baking trays. So what I mean by that, we're going to cook our bacon in the oven, okay, which is unusual for bacon. Normally we cook it in a pan, but I will bet your bottom dollar this will be some of the best bacon you've ever tasted when we get there. All right, so you're going to need 2 layers of baking paper. All right, so there's your first layer on. All right, we're going to just use our second layer as well. All right, there we go. What you're going to do next is grab your bacon. Now, depending on how many you're feeding, I think 3 is a good number. I think the deli lady was generous when I went to the supermarket earlier. So I'm just going to cook it all because we won't have a need for it. So what you want to do, actually I might not, you just want to try and just arrange it nicely on your tray. All right, you don't want to overcrowd it. We're probably going to get 6 on, which is probably perfect. And then we can have the rest for breakfast another time. All right, so bacon's on. I like streaky bacon better than normal bacon. That's just me. So use what you use. What happens next is the baking paper goes on top. And if you've got another baking tray of the same size, or it doesn't really matter, you're going to bang another baking tray on top of that, and you're going to chuck that into the oven. So in the end, you got tray, baking paper, bacon, baking paper, tray. And that's how you cook your bacon. So pretty straightforward. And that's probably the most complex thing we'll do today in terms of Moo's meals. Like, it's a pretty cruisy one, pretty social one today. So once you've done that, bang that in the oven. That will actually take the longest to cook. All right. So if you've got any questions, yell out.
What breakfast beverage would you suggest for this evening?
Sorry, Matt?
What breakfast beverage would you suggest?
It would have to be a latte, wouldn't it?
Say a lager. Okay.
A latte.
Brekkie beer, surely.
Brekkie beer. Anything you like. Next step is we're going to prepare the tomatoes. They're going to go in the oven as well. Wash my hands.
I just used both my trays.
Have you got like another serving tray?
Maybe.
Hey, I'll help you unpack. You've got something in there. Tea towel. I've got some more people coming on. It's building up. It's good. All right, so I'm going to use a little baking dish for my tomatoes. If I can find it. Yes. All right, just a little rectangular dish coming at you from dual screens in stereo. Whatever tomatoes you've got, really, it's not going to matter what you use. We've got on the Truss, Juicy Cocktail Truss tomatoes. Bridge will be having a conniption because it's got packaging on it. So I apologise for that, Bridge. It's not a non-plastic fair. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them in half. All right. If you want to keep them whole, you can keep them whole. I'm just going to just line them up in my tray. I think they look a bit better on the plate when you chop them in half. They, I don't know, just looks a bit better from my end. You can keep them on the vine, but then they're a pain to get off at the end. I'm going to cook a few extra because the kind of sauce it makes on itself is delicious. It will change your world. So I've got 7 tomatoes. I'm probably going to try and squeeze in 8 into my tray. Okay, Bridget, that won't go into the ocean, I promise. I'm going to squeeze in 1 more tomato. So just pretty simple so far. Nothing jock off MasterChef. If you watched last night's challenge, that was crazy. I'm just going to add those tomatoes in. I'm going to squeeze 1 more in. This is actually a brilliant way of just making like a nice tomato sauce as well. This is how you should start it. Low oven and whatnot. So what you want to do is you want to add some oil, olive oil preferably. I've been keeping like this jar of like old garlic and thyme with oil in it. We've almost used it all. So I'm going to try and get some oil out of that. And that's just, it's going to impart some really nice flavor on the tomatoes. I know you guys won't have that, so I'm just going to use a bit of that and a bit of olive oil. And then I'll actually top this back up with olive oil at the end of the cook. So I'm just going to chuck some oil on top of that. I'm probably going to get enough for my tomatoes, which is good. All right, you want to give them a good whack of salt and pepper. Be generous. All right, and this is where we get our balsamic vinegar as well. And just good splash of that in with the tomatoes will do wonders. So maybe 3 tablespoons worth.
Is that the balsamic? Sorry, Paul.
Yes, rich balsamic.
Thank you.
No worries. That will create, like the tomatoes will release their juices as they cook and create like a nice little sauce you can dress your final meal, the final meal with. Jess and I have some thyme that we want to use up. So this is going a bit gross. I'm just going to grab a few sprigs of thyme. I don't know if that was on the shopping list, but if you want to use some herbs, go for it, or chuck in some garlic that's going a bit moldy. Good trick with any hard herb like rosemary or thyme is that if you start from the bottom of the stem, and the bottom of the stem, and you roll your fingers up, all the leaves of the herb will actually come off. So just like that, push your fingers up. Beautiful. Herbs all done. I know it wasn't on the shopping list, but don't be afraid of herbs. They're pretty resourceful characters. So if you get a bit of stock in there, you can always just pick it out later. Like that guy. How good is that other guy? The guy who just says this fuck jar sauce all the time. He's my favorite.
I've made that pasta twice this week. It's delicious.
The bolognese.
Yeah, it's incredible. Game changer.
I put zucchini in my bolognese, so I'm probably breaking the rules.
Zucchini's cancelled. Haven't you been watching?
I don't follow him religiously. He's got like a full like camera and a microphone. He goes next level.
Maybe it's a nudge for you to step out of the amateur cooking scene.
what did he do before that? He looked like he was just like a standard YouTuber. Is that true?
I'm not sure. Been
Right.
following for about 5 days.
Yeah. Give your tomatoes a bit of a shake in your dish. All right. And then you're gonna just chuck them in the oven with your bacon. All right. We'll just keep an eye on them. My oven smells fantastic. Smells like bacon, so that's a good start. Just gonna wipe down my board. I guess the next task is smashed avocado. Now, I know a few people already have expressed concern about their ripeness of their avocados. So do your best you can. I offered a suggestion to one participant this afternoon that sliced avocado was just as good as mashed avocado, but she laughed in my face. So hopefully she's got something that's working for her at the moment. I've given away her gender, so that probably eliminates a couple. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to wipe down my board. I'm going to chuck those extra thyme sprigs on my tomatoes because I can't be stuffed putting them away. Just going to do a wipe down. All right. Grab a bowl. All right, generally with smashed avocado, I work on the general rule of half an avocado per person. So if I knew if I had 6 people, this is also a maths question. So if I had 6 people coming over for breakfast, I would have 3 avocados. All right, I'm going to break my own rule. And we've got like a avocado that's been sitting in the fridge for a couple of days. So I'm going to use that and mix it in with a full one myself. Trick is of getting avocado seed out of your avocado is you want to use the heel of your knife, which is the back of your knife. What you want to do is just whack the seed with your heel of your knife, make an indentation, and then just twist. I'll show you again on the other one. And then you can whack the heel of your knife in your bin and it disappears. Apparently, a lot of medical rooms have, or emergency room attendees are to deal with avocado nuts or seeds. So just be careful. And you just want to scoop your... Just want to scoop your avocado into a bowl. That one's going to be delicious. Lucky Jess is not here because she probably wouldn't have eaten that one. So I'll be able to trick her with the fresh one. I've got two to choose from. Kind of look for the softest one. I felt like a bit of a weirdo touching all the avocados in the supermarket earlier, considering the environment we're living in. But no one really eats the skin, so we should be okay. So splitting your avocado, run your knife in, and then you can just feel for the pip and just push your knife down. All right, and roll the avocado effectively around your knife. You should get a nice cut. Everyone's probably cut an avocado for a twist. Oh no, it doesn't want to come. Oh yeah, because you got to cut it actually, Jared, you idiot. Oh no, still doesn't want to come. Well, there we go. Got it. As you can see, it's quite firm. So we're going to have to do our best to try and incorporate it into the other avocado. I've got a bit of brown shit in mine, so I'm going to scoop that out first before I get rid of the seed. Excuse my language. Hopefully none of the students have jumped on board because they found me on Instagram, or someone did anyway. Half the year 12s have added me. All right. Now, if your avocado is firm like mine, what you would probably want to do is, I'm going to just scoop it out to my board rather than the bowl. I'm probably just going to just try and chop it a little bit before I add it in, because this thing's rock hard and it's obviously a pretty important part of the meal. So I'm going to try my best to try and incorporate it into the other avocado. as you can see here, I'm having trouble even getting it out with a spoon. So this is going to be real interesting. I thought it was soft when I picked it up this afternoon. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I don't even know if I want to use that one. Let me have a look. Yeah.
Got a tip for you to soften your avocado, Pulse.
You put it in a bag with a banana.
Yeah, put it next to a banana for 12 to 16 hours.
Claire tried that today and it didn't work.
Maybe your banana wasn't ripe enough, wasn't producing enough ethylene. It's the only thing I remember from biology in year 11.
Yeah, so I'm going to just, it's not a good time for avocados. It's the shitty Hass ones as well. Give me a shepherd any day. Sorry if I've offended anyone. I'm going to try and make the best of a shit situation and use that in some description. So I'm going to chop my avocado and hit it with a heap of lemon juice, and hopefully that will help it soften. Not my finest moment, but we'll get there in the end. I'll just slice avocados, okay, Claire? So heel seed trick again. Heel with your knife, twist. Yeah, mine doesn't want to come out. That's how bad this avocado is, or how firm it is. So bear with me, guys.
Pulse, I'm committed to Moo's Meals. I went to the other supermarket this afternoon, so I'm smashing the shit out of this avocado.
Well, I'm glad you got some because I didn't. We're resourceful on Moo's Meals. So we'll go on. We'll rebuild. So may not be the best smashed avocado, but it will work. All right. Hopefully your avocado is better than mine. All right. That took longer than expected. What you want to do is you want to hit your avocado with as much salt and pepper and acid as you dare. As I said before on this show, if you add salt and acid to anything, it's going to taste better. So once again, be generous, don't be scared. And hit it with any lemon juice or lime juice or whatnot. Hold your hand over the bowl and you'll be able to catch the pips. If you want to get real fancy and use a little sieve, go for it.
Hey Moo, I got some chocolate for you today.
Oh, Moo free. Yeah, branched out into the chocolate world. No, just kidding. That's cool, that is. I'm going to be more acid because mine are really hard. So I'll grab another lemon. Apologies for the hold up. All right, I'm going to get my fork into there and try and make something decent of that. I'm sure yours is looking better than mine. All good. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to work on our seeds, and then we'll check our cooking components, and then we'll talk about poached eggs. Because I might actually coach you through your poached egg, and I might wait for Jess to get home so we can have dinner together. So, seeds are a simple one. I'll deal with that later. Seeds, so whatever you want to use. I like a combination. Not only does it look cool, it tastes better too. So I always like to make a big batch. So I've just got some Papitas here. So put as many in as you want. These will hold in an airtight container for a long time. So whatever you use, it's good. You can just chuck them back in the pan, so it doesn't really matter. So I've got some Papitas. I'm going to do a batch, but if you wanted just enough for a single meal, maybe a tablespoon each. I've got some sunflower kernels, same amount, whatever you can get your hands on. All right, I think I've got some buckwheat there as well. Going to chuck some buckwheat in. We actually used all up our seeds, so I'm just going to make a bit of a bigger batch. Got some sesames as well, so I'm just going to chuck a few of them in, white and black. You can have this on top of your porridge, anything really. So go to town. We might flavour it at the end with a bit of salt and sumac or something like that. So all I'm going to do is just transfer those to a low heat. Just going to do a dry roast of those. Probably low burner. And they'll just do that thing. If you want them to get a bit of colour, just post up. I'd suggest putting your flavourings in at the end once they're warm, because they take them on board a little bit more. All right, we'll move on. First, we're going to check our bacon and tomatoes. And obviously, you can do a lot of this prep beforehand. So if you wanted to cook this for yourself in the morning, you could have quite a lot of this ready, but it's good. Feels like I'm back at uni eating breakfast for dinner. I'm going to check my tomatoes.
It's real.
Good enough, sorry.
I said, I also feel like I'm back at uni making breakfast for dinner.
Oh, you're still here. So those are the tomatoes. You can see they're starting to collapse a little bit and their juices are releasing into the tray there. And that'll be nice and delicious. So we'll chuck them back in. All right, so what you want to do, we're just going to have a sneak peek at this bacon. Obviously, that top tray is going to be hot, so just be careful. Use a towel. Don't be an idiot. So what you can do is just try and grab that little tray away. Put that where it's not going to burn down the house. Reveal your wares. You can see that it's still got a little bit to go. It will go nice and crispy. So I'm pretty happy with that, where that is at the moment, but I'm going to just chuck that back in and let it do its thing until you guys are ready to go. All right, so this is where timing is crucial, all right, because you want everything hot. So if you think your bacon's ready, maybe turn your oven off. All right, there should be enough residual heat in there to keep everything warm. So eggs don't take that long. So what you want to do now is boil your kettle, number one. Now, depending on how many eggs you're cooking, will determine how much water you need. I'll do a demo egg, so just for one, just to show you what I'm doing. I might just have that as a little entree snack. So what you want to do is boil your kettle. All right, that's going to boil away. I'm also going to drop some toast in the toaster in time for, you can even give it a bit of a pre-toast. So Jess made this delicious rye bread the other day. Like many, she's got the bug for baking. So she went to town, which I'm not disappointed about. So she's got this nice little like rye bread with sunflower seeds. Taking it out of the freezer. So if your bread's frozen, all good. You might want to chuck it in the microwave and put it in the toaster. That's what I'm going to do. Give your seeds a shake.
Hey, Liz.
Hey, sorry I'm late. Whoa, far out. Woo. Looking good.
If you're watching your seeds, they should just hear a small crackle here and there. That's totally fine. Just want to warm them through.
Hi.
Is that you, Lex?
Good.
Sorry.
I've just been racing on my sim.
Can you mute us?
I'm sure Wallace will work that out.
Okay, thanks.
All good. All right, so I just microwave my frozen bread a bit. I'm just going to chop a piece, just to give you a demo on the egg. So I'm just going to just pre-toast my toast. Maybe set your toaster to 2, so you know you're not going to burn it. All right, and then we'll drop it back down once we are ready with our eggs. If you don't like poached eggs, or you're not a fan of poached eggs, or you're scared of making poached eggs, and you want to do a fried egg or you want to do scrambled, go for it. I'm not the egg Nazi. You can choose. You're old enough to make your own decisions about which way you want your eggs cooked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a saucepan. Probably medium sized. So if I'm going to cook 4 eggs for Jess and I later, probably need something about that big. If you're cooking 2 eggs, obviously you can go smaller. All right, you can grab the water from your kettle. Obviously that's going in your pot. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, this is where the white vinegar comes into play. You want to put a good splash of just white vinegar in your egg cooking water. All right? About maybe a tablespoonful. It's not going to hurt if you put a little bit more or a little bit less, so no need to measure it. All right, so a good splash of that in your water. Jess tells a good story. One of her good girlfriends made poached eggs one time, but she used balsamic vinegar in the water, and she turned her eggs purple. I've never actually laughed so hard when she told me that story. Crazy. All right, you'll need a spoon and a cup for the next part of this. Right, I'm going to go roving now. So bear with me. Alright, so hopefully you can still hear me, but what we're looking for is, actually I'll flip over. Now if this makes a bad noise. Alright, just going to flip over. Apologies. All right, so hopefully you can still all hear me. What we want to find here, guys, is that we want to try and create bubbles like lemonade in our water. All right, so it doesn't have to be a rapid boil. We just want to try and mimic what we'd expect to see in a bottle of Sprite or 7-Up. Just make sure you're checking on your seeds. I almost burnt mine, but hey, if you don't burn something, you're not really in the kitchen, are you? All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now, make sure you've got a lid or a plate that you can place over your eggs. All right, so you're just looking for a nice rolling consistency, right? You don't want it to be going berserk. You just want it to be something that resembles a glass of lemonade in there. All right, so something like that, as you can see. Now, what you want to do is, now I'm going to go for the one-hand crack. Now, a common misconception with eggs is that you want to break it on the edge of your table. I probably find it's easier to just break on just on the flat surface. I'm just going to just drop the phone down for a second. So crack, and I find it's easier to get in there. All right. So the reason I put an egg in the cup, it's easy to transfer the egg into the water. All right. So what you want to do now is with your spoon, which I failed to grab, didn't even listen to my own advice, right, is you want to create a bit of a whirlpool in your pot. Anti-clockwise or clockwise, it's totally up to you. All right, we want to create a whirlpool. Right, quite vigorous. I think the more vigorous the whirlpool, the tighter the egg. So once you're happy with that, use the cup to then slide your egg into your water. All right, at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to go heat off. So turn the hob off, all right? And this is where you want to crack down on your toast for real. So go hit your toast. And eggs have these awesome inbuilt timers where they're ready once your toast is ready. So we'll flip back across. Like that. Sorry, guys. All right. So, all right. What we're going to do now is get ready to plate up. Really, my seeds are done. They're ready to go. I'm going to hit them with some salt and pepper, and we've got to find a way to use up that sumac. So we're going to use that from last week. So chuck a bit of that in there. All right, then you put it all together. Give them a bit of a shake around. All right, grab your sumac out. Give it a good whack of that. As I said, you can use them on anything, salads, porridge. They'll be good, they're tasty. So use it as a trail mix. Up to you. All right, we're going to go in and check our... I want you to go back in and check your bacon and such.
What's the method if we're rolling with multiple eggs, Pulse?
Just go at the same time. So just crack into a cup each time and then just try and guess. You want to try and do it pretty quickly so you can get them out at the same time. Right, my toast just popped, which is a good sign. So what I would probably do now is I'll put a little one together. That will work. All right. So what you want to do is just lay a little bit of paper towel down. Because what we're going to do is we'll grab a spoon and grab our egg out. So if you've got a slotted spoon, you can grab that. You can probably tell as well if your egg's ready or not. Mine's looking pretty good. Looks like a nicely formed egg. And don't be afraid if you fuck this up, because I fuck it up all the time. Use a nice slotted spoon. Drop it on some paper towel. That actually looks pretty good to me. And what you want to do here is just serve up. All right, so I'm going to grab my tomatoes out. They look great. All right, I'll bring them over to have a look. Beautiful. All right, got a nice little juice happening there. If you blended that up or squashed them all down and cook that down, that would be a delicious pasta sauce. Your bacon as well. I can put that on top of the tomatoes to give you an idea of what's going on. As I said, be careful not to burn yourself again. And if you wanted to crisp it up a little bit more, or you weren't quite happy with the consistency or the texture of your bacon, you could always chuck it in a pan at this point and just blast it. But as you can see there, real crispy bacon. So I'm happy with that. And if you're health conscious, like I am, obviously, you can get rid of some of that excess bacon fat. If you wanted to run that off into a jar and use that at a later date, go for it. But you can just chuck some paper towel on top of that, and that will get rid of the excess oil that effectively it's cooked in. All right. Or you can just use tongs to pick that up. So we've got all our elements ready to go. Now it's just all about putting it together. All right. So as I said, I'm going to wait till Jess gets home to put all ours together. But I'll do a little sampler for you guys. All right. So what I would do, bang, piece of toast roughly in the middle of your plate. Apply your butter. Be generous. All right, nice little part of your bread. All right, the way I would set this up is, all right, grab your smashed avocado. Obviously, your ratios will be a little bit different. All right, put that on the end of your bread. All right, you want to be pretty careful and grab your egg with a spoon, because then you know you weren't going to break it. Put that on the other end of your bread. Obviously, the more quantities you have, the better it will be. Then you want to go back to your tomatoes. All right, grab a few of them. If I was serving myself up, I'd probably have 4 to 6. You probably just want to dot them around the plate. All right, grab some of that juice along the way as well. All right, you can run some of that juice over your egg. All right, grab your bacon. The good thing about this, when it's really, really crispy, it's really easy to make it look really fancy. So I'm going to be able to just pick that up on the side. No, it doesn't want to do it. Maybe go the other way. Damn it. Talk myself up. There we go. Grab some seeds. Sprinkle a few of them on top. And if you're into your cheeses, then it's your feta, which I have here, which I have to open. So as much or as little feta as you like. I'm not a huge fan of it, so yeah, I'm just going to break off a little bit and just sprinkle that on top. All right, salt, pepper. If you really want to get fancy, sprinkle a bit of sumac on your egg so you can impress all your friends. That'll give it a nice colour as well. A bit of pepper. And Jess has just walked in the door. There it is. Why don't I'll bring that down a bit more. There you go. Look something like that. If you want some other artist interpretation, have a look at the one I put up in the Instagram post. But hey, if I went to any of your houses for breakfast and you served me that up for breakfast or dinner, I'd be extremely happy. So, sampling plate for me until Jeff gets home, which is in approximately 90 seconds. But yeah, take a picture, show us, tag Mood Meals, put them up in my story. And if you've got any suggestions, what you want to cook next, let me know. But also on the one for a little while, and I'll guide you through the rest of it. And I'll, yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to just get rid of this one and talk to you via the computer.
Actually, quite easy for something expected to be easy. I don't know what it wasn't it was very seriously. I was not expecting the level of like.
No, like, from what I hear, it's going to be quite straightforward and well presented.
Yeah, something like that.
They can pop her in upstairs pretty easy. We've just shared with us some of the.
So I just put everything back in the oven, guys, just to keep warm while we sort out when Jess gets home. And I'm going to try and do something with my avocado because it looks pretty sad. I might put it in the magic bullet and see if I can get it into a better consistency. Maybe with a bit of yogurt, turn it into a crema or something like that. But yeah, hope you enjoy. It's probably the earliest we've finished. Jess has just walked in the door. Jesus, what timing. So she can sample the sampler I made. She can give a first recap. See how it goes.
Sounds amazing. Ooh,
Check the egg porn. Let's go. Let's have a look at the egg. All right, let's have a look.
Oh, ultimate.
Yeah, pretty much nailed it. So
Nice.
you'll find me on the next series of MasterChef, so you can see the nailed it. So yeah, happy days. Any questions? You good, Clary? Yep, beautiful. Wallace, how are you going?
Don't rush me, Jared.
Sorry, Lachlan.
No, I'm nailing it. Just give me a moment and I'll show you this presentation.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the presentation.
I fucked up 50% of the eggs,
That's okay.
but I also nailed 50% of the eggs. So
That's a pass mark in my eyes.
I want to be in your class.
I don't even tell them if they pass or fail. We just give them a fucking raw score.
Left the bacon in to get it extra crispy.
Yeah, you've got to get it extra crispy. There's no way to eat bacon. Yeah, so if you do have hard avocados like mine are horrendously hard, I've only got like half a good one in there. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put that in the NutriBullet with a bit of Greek yogurt and just turn it into a bit more of a paste, which is something that works really well with Mexican food in particular. Instead of, if you can't be fucked making a guacamole and you just want something that's going to go well on your tacos, avocado, Greek yogurt, lemon juice in the magic bullet turns it into like a real nice avocado sauce, which they call it avocado crema. But yeah, very good. Enjoy, guys. Go watch MasterChef and actually, it's not even on yet. How good's that? Go watch MasterChef and actually learn something that you might.
Can you sign up for it?
No.
Why do you doubt yourself so much?
Oh, I had a
You
psychology.
make smashed avo on MasterChef.
Imagine that. Yeah.
George would love it.
Oh.
Oh wait, he's not there anymore, is he?
No, it's not George anymore.
No, it's probably.
Yes.
Did you do anything to the bacon before you put it in the oven?
No, just as is, Annette. Straight in between two pans.
Yep. Cool.
It's easy. Comes up really well, as you can see.
Yeah, it looks good. Yum.
And it's probably the easiest too to cook for a lot of people. So,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yeah. So, you know, if you know you've got a heap of people coming over for breakfast, it's probably the easiest. You just get your trays in the oven or Brinner, and you can actually do, like, we've got a heap of trays, so we can go like 4 or 5 trays high just with layers of your bacon in there. Yeah,
Good idea.
Yeah, it works well.
Jess and I forgot we had bacon and eggs for brekkie or lunch.
That's why it's called Brinner. You can have it whenever.
Yeah, we did the brunch. Yeah.
I wanted to
That
call
stir
it. I wanted to call it Dinkfest, but Wallace wasn't too keen on that.
The production team said no.
I didn't know there was that whole kind of scrub sketch.
Why do you think I told you to make Brinner, mate?
I don't know.
You'll have to listen to their new podcast because they'll talk about it.
I don't drive anywhere anymore, so I don't listen to
Go
podcasts.
for a walk, Jared.
I did today.
May have put too much feta on, but
That's all right. You can never have too much feta. All right, I'm going to leave you to it and finish this off and sit down and enjoy it myself. But
Make sure you show us your photos, team.
yeah, post your photos, tag Moose Meals, and they'll all come up on my end. So, not as a sending me a text. There's a photo. Nailed it, Nodders. That looks delicious. Spot on. Well played. So awesome. Yeah. If you want something shown, I'm starting to run out of ideas. No, I'm not really, but I'm thinking of maybe dumplings. So,
ooh,
Absolutely, I'm here for dumplings.
all right, we might have a crack at dumplings next week. It's probably the longest. It's probably going to be the folding. We won't make our own pastry. We're not that far. I'm not that far advanced, but you can buy really good stuff from Woolworths in particular. And we might just have a little bit of a talk on how to fold them. And yes.
Unmute me. Unmute. Alyssa. Lockie.
I can't do it. Lockie has to do it, I think.
Yeah.
or at least
Lockie.
you can do it.
You can do it, Liz.
Or you can't have nice things.
Unmute yourself.
Yeah, all good. Talk.
Hey,
Hey.
to the dumplings. Yeah.
Okay. Might have to set you some homework for that, but it's pretty easy. I can do that at lunchtime.
You
maybe.
got it, Liz.
But anyway, yeah, I'm going to end it there. Send me a picture or tag your meals on Instagram, and yeah, hope you enjoy. Have fun, guys.
Thanks.
I mean,
Bye bye.
hair have something to do with it?
Yeah. Sorry, Lisa.
Does Lockie's hair have something to do with the first part of this thing? Because I missed it.
His hair.
Yeah.
That's his
He's an idiot.
Awesome.
more and more like Phineas every day, I say. Anyway,
Gave myself a fresh salad.
Enjoy.
you guys enjoy.